Tom, as just a short review, what, based on the prophecies out of the Vatican that were hidden for all these generations, are they anticipating with the final Pope?
Well, the idea among both Catholics and Protestant scholars is that he will be the final Pope. He is the one who is going to be residing over the Vatican as it enters into the Great Tribulation period, and there's also the belief among even some of the Catholic mystics that he might be a false pope, an anti-pope, somebody who helps give rise to the Antichrist.
As you may know, we have a new pope. March 13th, Pope Francis came into power. I made a video, this video, on the very next day. I actually made it on the same day, but I uploaded it the next day as it takes time to edit. It has, at this point, 171,000 views. It's a very big subject. It is extra-biblical prophecy. However, it is very interesting for those of you who want to stay up to date on prophecy, eschatology, end times events. I believe that this is connected. What I've done here in this video is I have taken 2 episodes of Sid Roth. I have taken out all of the advertising and I have put them together to shorten it for you so that you can have this information. What it is Sid Roth of the show It's Supernatural is interviewing the 2 authors, Tom Horn and Chris Putnam, who created the book that foretold of this prophecy and pretty much revealed it to the world, called Petrus Romanus. They have a new book called Ex Vaticana, and just here you go. This continues. This is pretty major news. Please get this into your hands, the hands of your friends and family who do not know what time it is. The time is late. Okay, this is the only time you're going to see me in this video. I would just finish up with the presentations. All credit goes to Sid Roth, Chris Putnam, and Tom Horn. I will put the links to their products. There are books and CDs and DVDs and whatnot that they are offering, but I did edit all that out because it makes the whole video twice as long. So links for that are below because they do deserve credit for their work. I will also have a link to this video if you have not seen it. This will be a linked at the end of the video and also below. Enjoy, and Yahweh Barak you.
Oh, welcome to my world, where it's naturally supernatural. Buried in the library of the Vatican was an ancient 900-year-old prophecy which listed every pope for the next 112 popes. Well, we've had 111, and every single pope that had a prophetic word, and they all had it, that's what happened in their life. Amazing, stunning accuracy. Would you like to know what it says about the 112th Pope? I'll tell you one thing. It says he will be the Pope for the final judgment. You know, Tom and Chris, your best-selling books, you made major predictions. I mean, you guys like to live a little dangerously. I mean, you went all out on the limb, and you stated, you predicted that in March of 2012, the Pope would resign for health reasons, and let's be candid, they missed it. Did you?
Well, at first, actually, we thought we might have. Now we learned that, in fact, we did not. We made a prediction that Benedict would retire in either March or April of 2012, citing health reasons. When that date came and went and no activity had transpired, we moved to the second part in our prediction, which we also made in 2012, that at a minimum he would retire before the end of 2013. Now we've learned, by the way, from the editor of the El Observatorio Romano, which is the Vatican's owned official media outlet, that in fact Pope Benedict officially resigned at the end of March 2012 privately to a handful of cardinals who held it in a strict reserve, in a confidence. It couldn't be told even to other cardinals This happened last year. He made it official in 2013. So in a very supernatural, dramatic way, we were actually right in both instances.
But speaking about being right, I am fascinated about this 900-year-old prophecy from this Saint Malachi. Tell me about these prophecies.
Well, the prophecy of the popes was allegedly given to Saint Malachi Morgair, an Irish saint, in 1139 AD. Now, the way that this story is told, Malachi made a pilgrimage to Rome to see the Pope, and right outside of the city of Rome, he had a vision of all the popes up until the tribulation period. So he wrote down a series of short Latin phrases for 112 popes, except the last one, which is quite a bit more detailed. The last prophecy, the prophecy for the very next pope, says, "In the extreme persecution of the Holy Roman Church, there will sit Peter the Roman, who will nurse the sheep in many tribulations. When they are finished, the city of Seven Hills will be destroyed, and the dreadful judge will judge his people."
Now, I've gotten to know the two of you, and you are such, Chris, a theologian, so after truth. You've analyzed all of these prophecies for all 112 popes. Tell me pull one out about one pope that you felt was amazing. But even beyond that, were they all on the money or not?
Well, Sid, I'll tell you, when I began to investigate this prophecy, I was not predisposed to believe it. I'm not a Catholic, I'm a Protestant, but I wanted to take a critical, skeptical kind of look at it. Now, some of them seem a little vague to me. Some of them seem to speak to the coat of arms of a pope or events during his papacy. But the ones that are accurate, the ones that make kind of a risky prediction, are so accurate that I really could not dismiss it. And I think it does beg us to take it seriously. For instance, there was one prophecy in particular that grabbed my attention. This was for Benedict XV. Now, he was pope from 1914 to 1922, and the Latin phrase was religio depopulata. Now, that means religion depopulated in English. So what happened between 1914 and 1922? We had World War I, which is devastating to Europe, devastating to the Catholic Church. But to add insult to injury, you had the Bolshevik Revolution in Russia, where 200 million people left the church to join the Communist Party. Those that didn't leave, Lenin targeted them specifically to eliminate them. So religion was depopulated probably more than any other period in history up until that time. And this prophecy nailed it.
Now, why do you say that this will be the last pope?
It's the last one on Malachi's list. And I just cited the prediction for this pope. It says, in the extreme persecution, the tribulation, the dreadful judge will judge the people. So it really does sound like the end times, and it matches the book of Revelation in some pretty compelling ways in chapter 17, which also speaks of a seven-hilled city.
I'm going to tell you something. At first, when I heard about this, I didn't want to touch it with a 10-foot pole. But after talking to them on the phone, looking at their research, understanding their brilliance in their respective fields, I feel that what you're about ready to hear will change your paradigm for end times forever. For instance, they investigated secret files from the Vatican that shows that the Vatican has been in communication and been researching aliens from other planets that strongly affect your whole understanding of the last days. We'll be right back after this word. You know, the Bible warns about great delusion because people won't have a love for the truth. They're going to accept lies in the last days. And I believe that what you're about to hear will totally change your paradigm on the end times. Now, Tom, I believe you were hand-picked by God for doing your part of the research team of the last days. Now, shortly after you became a believer, you died. Tell me about it.
Yes, I did. I had been seeking God. I was a young believer. I went home one night. I climbed into bed. The next thing I know, I'm standing in front of a brilliant white light. Somehow I know that I'm in front of the Lord. And he's told me, he's told me some things, and now he's telling me I'm not going to remember, but it's time for me to return. The next thing I know, I'm falling from the heavens. I land on the bed in my bedroom. I sat up real fast. I breathed in very deeply, like that, and I find my wife sitting beside me. She's bawling her eyes out. Long story short is she had woke up in the middle of the night, found me dead, did various things to, verify to herself that I was dead. Now, I started asking questions. Why would the Lord have showed me something and then told me that I wasn't going to remember what it was? That confused me. I happened to be reading through the Bible at that time and was in Job 33. First time I was ever reading through the Bible in my life, and I'm praying, Lord, why would you show me something and then tell me I'm not going to remember what it was? When all of a sudden, off the pages from the 33rd chapter of the book of Job, I read these words, in the nighttime, in deep sleep, in slumbering upon the bed, then God seals the instructions of the righteous within them to hide pride from man.
Now, Tom found, after 25 years of being an Assembly of God pastor, a family secret. Tell me about that.
Yes, well, I actually remember the first event when I was a kid, waking up in the middle of the night, my sister screaming, terrified. We all go running to her room, and as a kid, Mom never would let me know what had happened that